Watch a lone competitor push for maximum speed. In elite cycling, the air itself acts as a mounting physical penalty. This chart plots the mathematics of aerodynamic drag. As a rider's speed increases, the energy required to overcome wind resistance curves violently upward. Because of this exponential friction, an isolated competitor always hits a strict biological limit. Exhaustion is a mathematical certainty. Capital markets operate under similar physical laws. A static financial portfolio, sitting in a fixed allocation, faces its own invisible friction. Economic conditions are constantly shifting. Interest rates fluctuate, supply chains tighten, and consumer demand cools. Yesterday's highest performing assets eventually face heavy drag, bleeding their momentum week over week. Relying on a fixed position guarantees eventual failure. To maintain velocity over a long timeline, you have to abandon the isolated competitor and build a system. In cycling, the peloton solves the problem of drag. Riders don't race side by side. They form a moving structure designed to manipulate physics. One rider takes the absolute front. They absorb the full force of the wind, carving a protective slipstream for the tightly packed rows behind them. The math of this structure is heavily skewed. The riders drafting in the slipstream save nearly 40% of their energy, moving at elite speeds with a fraction of the effort. But the system has a vulnerability. The leader breaking the wind is burning through their energy reserves at an unsustainable rate. If that leader collapses, the entire formation slows down. For the system to survive, it must abandon its current leader before failure occurs. The moment the front rider's efficiency metrics drop, they step aside. A fresh rider immediately takes the front. There is no ego or hesitation in this exchange. It is a cold, mechanical decision to preserve the structure's velocity. Advanced portfolio management uses this exact logic. In quantitative finance, this structure is known as sector rotation. Instead of spreading assets evenly, capital flows into a single central node, the market sector holding peak momentum. Quantitative algorithms monitor that leading sector continuously. At the first signs of drag, the system severs the connection and routes capital directly to a new accelerating sector. Hesitating to abandon a fading leader creates a friction that slows the entire system. By operating purely on data, a quantitative structure removes that human delay, ensuring the engine never loses its pace. A grand tour like the Tour de France is a 21-stage event. It demands survival across a radical shift in terrain, from flat plains to extreme high-altitude ascents. The physiological traits that win a flat sprint become massive liabilities on a 10% incline. Heavy muscle mass turns into an anchor. Macroeconomic environments are just as fractured. Markets transition rapidly, from deep recessions to sweeping bull runs or sudden inflationary spikes. A static portfolio built perfectly for an era of low interest rates will be crushed when inflation abruptly steepens the terrain. True risk management means operating a dynamic system, one that instantly promotes a new specialized leader, perfectly adapted to the immediate slope. A 21-stage race rewards the system that manages the cumulative total. Victory at the Arc de Triomphe is the result of 3 weeks of disciplined positioning. Individual asset dominance fades. The laws of physics and economics guarantee it. But the logic of structural rotation remains constant. It separates those who survive market cycles from those who fall behind. Progress is built purely on positioning. Harpian, engineering momentum.